Welcome to ASCENT. Today we have a divine masculine mind reading. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and check in on that and see exactly what's going on. It's important for the divine feminine to have a better sense of clarity about where the divine masculine is, and I love doing these messages for that purpose. When's the last time you spoke to your divine masculine? Let me look at this. When's the last time you guys spoke? And if you don't mind sharing, I mean, what did you talk about? Or if that's too much. I mean, wow. This is I mean, okay, hold on a second. If you want to share what you talked about, you can do the little trick where we just maybe put an emoji for what would be a good way to represent the conversation. But I'm very curious because I've noticed that there's been a big shift in some of the personal readings that I've been doing. And I think it's important for the collective to be able to see that as well. It's just so interesting to be in the position that I'm in and to be able to facilitate certain shifts within our tribe at least. So make sure you check the chat out if you're here for the live. And if you're not, make sure you check out the comment section and just see where people have been, because it's really important for you to be able to keep up with the fact that, yes, your journey is unique, but you're not alone. And there are massive waves of energy that come through and change everything. What do we have here? I mean, look at, okay, see, something's going on here. An illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. Afraid to take action. But what did we see? We saw the Knight of Pentacles and the Six of Wands, both of which are cards about getting on the horse and taking action, doing something. Now, the Knight of Pentacles to me was representing more what the divine masculine is going to start to do in their daily life, the things that they're looking at. I even kind of get a little bit of an Eight of Cups energy from that. But then I also see on the other side that Six of Wands says, listen, yeah, I'm looking at how to change my life with the little things, but I am also really, really excited. And I have this feeling that I'm supposed to be doing something going forward. And yet, look, I'm afraid. What are you afraid of, DM? I'm afraid to change my life. I'm afraid of the power and control that I feel that I have. Whoa. Okay, so DM, divine, and divine feminine, if you want to send good vibes as I'm going doing this, let's think, what is it that we need to know most right now? What is it that's going to be the most beneficial and most helpful to us? Oh, another one. What is it that the divine masculine wants us to know but doesn't know how to tell us? All right, so I'm gonna put you there, and I'm gonna put you like this because I have a feeling that these came out together for a reason. So before we start, let's just ask the question of what is it that we need to think about that our mind isn't going to think about to start this message? Okay, again, what is it that we need to think about, need to reflect upon, need to see or have some sort of new perspective on before we go deeper into the message itself so that we actually get it? Wow. Now, we started with a 1 and a 6, but what I didn't mention to you when I saw the Six of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles is we had that King and Queen of Cups in there. But that 1 and that 6 that we saw in the beginning, I think that that's the part that's messing with the divine masculine the most. The thing that's making them want to buckle down and do what they came here to do is this feeling or this revelation that's coming over them that you are dope. Maybe they knew that already, but maybe they just realized you're doper than dope. You're doper than they knew you were. And by having this sudden realization that this is a bigger deal than they were letting it be before, or they were looking at it from the wrong angle. Some of our divine masculines get mad at us for being so dope. Mr. Lightwork was like that. He was offended that I came along after he had just decided that he was done even bothering with relationships. How dare I come and mess that up? So some of them get so caught up on that side that they forget to see the fact that there is someone perfect standing in front of you. So it's interesting because whatever just happened made them see And I have a feeling it was something that probably triggered them in their life. This to me usually doesn't come across straight tower. It's more about experience, more about the revelation. But I sense the tower because I sensed it when we first picked up the cards. And again, it's the experiences that they're having that are making them want to run to you. I mean, like seriously, run to you with the ring. Let's do this. I want to lock it down. But you know what's stopping them? Themselves. That King of Cups with the Knight of Pentacles that we saw is a really good indicator of how they're feeling. They feel like they are not in an emotional state to provide what they need to provide for you. I'm gonna move this up here. And I think that they are in a physical state that says, I got a lot around me that I need to work on and fix before I even think about what I'm thinking about right now. Okay, so some of you need to understand that this point blank means something happened in your DM's life. Something that was like an actual event situation, something that really impacted them. Some of you need to see that maybe it wasn't necessarily like a tower moment where we'd be like, ugh, right? But it was a tower moment like, ooh, yeah. You know, you have those moments with your friends and they might say, oh, this happened. And you're like, oh my gosh. Oh. But then there's moments where they tell you something and you're like, oh, that's tough, you know, and you kind of feel for them, but you also know that it's really not that bad. And you kind of sense that it was coming or it was necessary. I don't know if your divine masculine is in that group of, oh, it went down bad, bad, bad. But I know at the very least something happened that was just jarring spiritually for them, even if it didn't bother them in the physical. And it came from a very divine space. It came as a part of their journey, which to me says it probably hit them like a real tower, even if it wasn't one, if that makes sense to you. When I think about the thing that happens on their journey to stop them from being who they're supposed to be and doing what they're supposed to do, and then something coming along to say, no more of that, it's usually like a chop. Like, ah. And I'm just throwing that out there that just because it wasn't a major tower moment in the physical doesn't mean it didn't feel like one, okay? So whatever it is they're going through, they're really not in the best spot to be making the moves that they want to make. But that's not stopping them from at least trying. And I love the fact that we see a divine masculine who's dealing with themselves right now. So, okay, now let's get into this message. Now that we understand that the divine masculine is going through something, what is it that is happening that's going to give us the clarity about what we're going to learn tonight from their mind, from where their thoughts are, from what they've been feeling? Wah! It wasn't a joke here. And let me tell you something. The exclusive for the Immortal Visionaries package, honey, okay? I'm just going to leave it there. But anyways, when I see Ace of Cups, I get why this had to show up first, because I think that some of us would have had a little bit of a struggle believing, right, yeah, here we go again with you want to tell me that you care about me and da 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 da. You know, I get it. I absolutely get it. There was a point before Mr. Lightwork and I actually got together when we weren't necessarily in separation, but we were in what I call pseudo union, right? We're kind of in a relationship-ish. It's complicated-ish, you know. And in that point, there were a lot of periods where I was just like, okay, whatever. Yes, okay, I'm the perfect woman, whatever. Oh, okay, fine. Enough with the flattery. I don't really care. It was just like, whatever. And I feel that the divine masculine is trying to explain to you that what they saw in you before this moment, it wasn't like, what is that? It's not you, it's me. It wasn't that you weren't good enough or something. That's why I kind of get that sense earlier when it was like when they realize you're doper than dope. They already knew you were great, but then they realized you were even better than, or understood what it actually meant or made sense of it. You know, I feel like that's really important for them to make sure you understand that this was about them. This was about the fact that they were so lacking the emotion, really the emotions required for love. They were lacking the even the emotions to be excited about things that they should be excited about. The world has corrupted all of us in so many ways. The divine feminine collective is a lot more likely to take apart those, you know, I don't even know what you would want to call it. It's like someone throwing a net over you and keeping you caught up and or throwing you in a bucket with a bunch of crabs, or it's just like somehow or another you found a way out of the cycle, out of the matrix, out of the program. And or you might be still working your way out. The divine masculines really exist very deep in that space. And that space of corruption stops them from feeling things even when it comes down to the excitement. Ooh, this is already, the mind reading has begun because this is such a beautiful explanation for why they could look at someone as amazing as you, as perfect, not just as amazing and perfect like you're just the best, no, but amazing and perfect for them. That's the part of this that I think is so frustrating for us as twin flames is look, I know I'm not perfect, but I know that everything I am is just right for what you need. That's the part that's a real struggle when we're in separation. The divine masculine needs you to understand, I don't even get excited for my own life. I don't even get excited for my own stuff. I don't even get excited when the thing I've always wanted shows up and it's something I actually want, right? Maybe I don't want a relationship, so when you show up I'm like, "Ugh." But sometimes other stuff happens and I don't even care. I mean, I want to. I pretend to. But that kind of indifference that I have about everything else unfortunately has flowed into everything I do, everything I touch. So as the divine masculine goes to the depths to discover the truth of who they are and realizes they could swim all along kind of thing, it's still taking them time to understand how they got there, how they're going to integrate these feelings and suddenly start to show love. Do you know how hard that is? Have you ever met a couple that's going through marriage counseling? Everything in the beginning seems very rigid and stilted. Everything is, oh, perfect example. If you ever saw The Office when Pam and Jim went to some kind of counseling or something like that, and I'm trying not to give away the show. And they came into the office and they were saying things like, thank you for thinking of me this morning when you made the kids breakfast and let me do my hair. That was very kind of you. And then Jim would be like, you're welcome. I understand that it's my job as your husband to take the load off. And the coworkers are like, what the hell are you guys doing? And I get that it's a hard place for you to be when you're not even in that space, right? You're not together having that conversation 9 times out of 10 when you're in separation. And so it can kind of feel weird that you're doing this apart from each other. You're working these things out apart from each other. And your DM needs you to understand that right now they can barely do the script, right? They're very much in that space like, yes, as your divine masculine, I understand that I'm supposed to, and you can hear the question in their voice as they say it because it still feels odd. So give them a shot here to show you and prove to you over time that what they're showing when it comes to love and affection and kindness and all the things that you've been looking for, all of those things are going to be very natural and right for you two. It may not be exactly what you were looking for, what you wanted. It may not be even what you expected from them. Some of us kind of will try so hard to imagine what our DM is going to be like in the future. And we'll be like, oh, maybe this is how they'll finally show some love. I'm thinking about like Ron Swanson right now. Again, forgive me on the NBC shows or whatever, but I picture, someone meeting Ron Swanson and thinking that one day he wasn't going to be Ron Swanson. And it's like, no, he's still going to be gruff. He's still going to be, all these things, but that doesn't mean that he can't show love to Tammy. I'm just kidding. Remember when Diane was like, my name is... Anyway, so I need you to start to think about that. When you, and forgive me, if you don't understand what I was saying, just think about like Beauty and the Beast or something, right? We're not going to have that moment where she kisses the beast, he turns into this beautiful prince, and suddenly he's kind and gentle and a gentleman. That's not what's going to happen with your DM. They're still them. They're still going to be... But you know what? I think that's what is going to make when they show you love and they finally figure out how to do it right. That's what's going to make you know how much they love you. And I feel like on one side, there's going to be people say, oh, Grace, that sounds like you're encouraging abuse, like if they're mean to you. No, no, no. See, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about what you're talking about. What I'm saying is when you watch your DM tear up a little bit as they do something for you and you say you did this for me and they're like, "Uh-huh." And it's nothing. It's absolutely the silliest, smallest little thing, and yet you're welling up with emotion from the fact that they thought of you and did something outside of their character and nature, and they're so happy that you understood what they were trying to do that they're like, I'm gonna go to the garage. I need you to understand that your divine masculine is expanding in their way of honoring your commitment and your partnership and your dynamic in every moment of every day. And right now, a major shift to that end is happening because they're finally getting in touch with the spots inside them that are so extreme against, I'll call it hate. They're so far away from love that they're dang near hate. That instinctual, response, well, reactionary way that your divine counterpart kind of just no, 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 not that, scoffs at love or whatever. That is something that has to be worked on over a long period of time. And they're dealing with the underlying root issues right now to help with that. Someone's DM is trying to get through. If you feel like this is your DM, go ahead and put me a raised hand up in the comments because I'm serious. Are you listening to this? Or are you just going to say, oh, this is just what, oh, I've heard that before. Oh, that's the problem with watching so many readings is when you watch readings that aren't meant for you at the right time, and then someone comes through and tells you something, you're like, oh, I already heard that. Yeah, you were listening to 1,000 billion readings an hour at double speed on 2 different phones. You have one headphones in your ear from one phone, and then you have your AirPods in your ear from your other phone, and you got 16 readings going. I get it. Of course you've already heard the message. Maybe now, this is when you're actually supposed to be getting it. Maybe now is the time to take some time and ask yourself, how could I see my divine masculine shift? What hope do I have in their ability to change? And how might my expectations of who they're going to be either outlandish and just ridiculous or completely limiting to the depth of the love that we share? So let's go. What do we need to know? And these came out first. I'm going to talk this one first. And this is the message that goes with it. So we've got 6 of Cups. The first thing they want you to know is that you and your dynamic, it's on their mind. Now, I also get the sense that they're thinking about all their past relationships. They're thinking about every relationship that ever stood out to them. I used to watch Days of Our Lives when I was growing up around all the old ladies and stuff that I hung out with as a child. And so I really knew about like Bo and Hope. Don't try to catch me up. Okay. I was, oh my goodness gracious. And I just think about the feeling that I had growing up thinking, I want love like Bo and Hope. Okay. I remember, oh, silly as this sounds, Dirty Dancing and Pretty Woman. I was watching kids I shouldn't watch when I was too young. I get it. But those were the relationship dynamics. I remember my grandparents, my parents. I remember when my parents, got with new partners and I saw the different dynamics. I remember every relationship that stood out to me still to this day for the reasons that they stood out. Your divine masculine is working through all this stuff. And while you've been swimming in this ocean of understanding, whether you've had no relationships and you're like me and you had crushes most of your life until suddenly maybe you had a freaking relationship, maybe you're someone who's like, no, I went from relationship to relationship to relationship. I had my first boyfriend when I was 5 years old and I've had one ever since. Whatever it is, you as a divine feminine being more open and interested and willing to be in relationships, even having more dynamic or more deeper dynamics with like friends and family members. As the divine feminine, the nurturer in the dynamic, you've been swimming in the emotions of love and respect and all that's required to be able to interact with others for a lot longer than your divine masculine has. And when they do get in the water, they're the ones who sit up at the top in the floaty and hold their nose and plug their nose when they go underwater. I'm not judging you. I do it too. I plug my nose and I take a deep breath and I go underwater and then I come back up. Okay, that's the DM. We are so different. And yet right now, they have dived into our neck of the woods. They are trying so hard to understand, so hard. And you can see, again, the 1-6 energy. And this being the same suit really tells me that this is about this issue here. This is about this life experience, this tower moment. And again, I told you some of your divine masculines, it was actually something that happened. Even it could be like a breakup, right? Or someone, they found out someone was cheating or something like that. Sure. If it's related to a person. But some of your DMs, man, get around Valentine's Day or I don't know, they go to the wrong event and it's like a couples thing and they didn't realize it. Or, I mean, you watch the wrong movie on TV, get triggered. You're not the only one who gets triggered about love and relationships. And just because your DM usually tries to avoid it when it comes to you does not, and again, that's not everybody, but for many of you, I know that's what it feels like. That does not mean that they don't think about it at all and that they're not affected by it. Just because someone is, living in the extreme of hate as they avoid love does not mean that they're not impacted by emotions. So the first thing you need to understand is that your divine masculine thinks about you all the time. If you're one of the people that's never met your DM and you're like, how is that possible? Especially if you think that like they would never be interested in you or something like that. I get where you're coming from, but I've seen it before where even if they don't realize that they're thinking about you, everything they need to be thinking about in order to get them to this level of understanding that's required for this particular season is everything that they need to be in relationship with you. It seems so strange, and yet I have seen divine masculines be in a karmic situation with someone else, come back to their DF, tell them all this stuff that happened with their DF, and their DF is like, whoa. And they end up thinking like, for real, thank you to this person that I was insulting and calling a karmic all this time, not even knowing this person was being a huge blessing and helping deal with all the hate and all the crazy and all the nonsense from the DM, helping calm them down and show them love and all this different stuff. So again, if your DM is thinking directly about you because they know you, well, they know why they're thinking of you. But if you're in a position where you're like, I don't know, understand that it's about leading them to you. That's why these thoughts are put into their head. That's why these triggering situations or tower moments happen. So what is it that we need to understand? Because this one came out with 2, and again, I felt like they went together. So they're thinking about you. They're thinking about the past, especially. What is it that they need us to understand? Oh, look what came with it. I told you. Now, from the beginning, I freaking told you this. And you know what? This is what's causing the imbalance. I was very clear and plain when I said the thing that got them thinking, and this is where the 1-6 comes in, right? The thing that got them thinking, I kind of want to put this up top though, about the divine feminine is this realization that they had, right? During the tower moment, for some reason they can't help but keep going back to their DF. But it's the fear that's stopping them. I think what this is saying is every time they think of you, more fears come up. They're living in a place of confusion. They're dealing with this issue that came up and what it did to them and how it made them feel. And I think that it's pushing them to the limit a little bit here. And the next step for them is going to be do some research, figure some things out, get on the right path, okay? But they're not there yet. Right now, whatever's happening in the collective at this moment, it's taking them to a place where they realize I have to make changes if I want to go that way. That's a huge deal. Some of you are going to end up in union soon because these people are not going to be able to stay away from you now that this is happening. But be warned, they're coming in hot. It's going to be a little messy for y'all. Especially if you're not all and you don't have your life together and your whole life is in shambles because you keep waiting on them to come around, just be prepared that even if they do, it's going to be rough. I'm just letting you know. But if you've been doing your thing and doing the work and everything in your life is great and the only thing that's really slowing you down is tarot and you pop in every so often just see, not tarot is your twin flame, and you pop in every so often to see, okay, where they're at. But otherwise, you're living a good life. Also be prepared that they're going to come in and they might want to run away because they're going to look at your stability and they're going to go, oh, I don't want to mess this up. So again, you have to have some kindness and some grace on this journey and also try to see them where they are actually at and not where you are or try to bring them into your world all the time. Because again, you, even though you're all up in their business watching tarot all the time, you still are not a part of their world. And at the very least, even if you think you are, you have to understand they're not a part of yours. Because that's the reason why you're here, right? Is because they're not here. So knowing that you have someone who's saying, listen, I think about you constantly, but I also, every time I do, think about every reason why I can't have you, every reason why I'm too far gone, every reason why. Right now, Divine is doing some massive, major, like, I mean, it's like cut the brain open and freaking tinker with it with screwdrivers and drills. And Divine is restructuring the Divine Masculine's mind right now, bringing things to a new state of balance to help them so that they can make those good decisions and start on the new path. I see 7 a lot. You know, you got 1 plus 6 is 7, 1 plus 6 is 7. We saw the 1 and the 6 earlier. I see 7 here as well. Like that's kind of happy medium. 6 plus 8, 14, 7. But even here, 6, 7, 8. There's something that's going to, once they swing back into the balance and they kind of level out, I feel like they're going to end up seeing their path very clearly, feeling actually that they were lucky to have things happen the way that they did, seeing things in a way that gives them more faith than fear. But right now, we've got to work on the fears, okay? That's why this got triggered this way. So how are they feeling about you then? I mean, I feel like we've got a lot of that already. Maybe this might give us some information just generally about how they feel. But I mean, I would like to know if there's anything that we can really understand on a deeper level about what this means for us. Wow, look at that. This is important. This is so important. Don't give up. Protect that which you've created. Have courage and believe in yourself. I have been hearing from the Divine Masculine for about 1 or 2 months now, and from I don't know, a pretty big part of the collective, that the Divine Masculines feel guilty for possibly creating insecurities in their Divine Feminine, because many of them, I mean, they thought you were amazing when you met. They didn't think you ever could even have a need for an insecurity, and probably didn't think anything they could say could make you insecure. Many of you are actually in denial about some insecurities that were created. And I think it's really important for you to forgive your Divine Masculine for doing that so that you can acknowledge that they're there. Because I understand that, just like me, when I was avoiding acknowledging what my parents did to me, I did not want to admit what that would mean. But when I finally just said, you know what, they were young. They had me when they were 17 and 18 years old. They didn't know what they were doing. They didn't understand that was abuse. They didn't get it. When I finally took the moment to say that, then it allowed me to say, I was abused. My parents ignored me. They told them I had ADHD. They ignored them. They beat me instead. You know what? That was not okay. And suddenly, I was able to start to heal from something that I swore I did not have a problem with. Now, I'm asking you to do the same. To look at your Divine Masculine and say, you know what? By not loving me when I needed you to, that did hurt me. That did make me wonder what I am, who I am, if I'm worth it, why I'm not good enough. And even if maybe I only asked myself that once and then just kind of pushed it out of my mind, I have to acknowledge now that I do have a little bit of an insecurity about that. Or I do have, insecurities even in just building relationships with people now, people that I trust hurting me. I want you to make sure that you are really the pillar of strength that you claim to be. And if you're not, that's cool. That's okay. Because if you can acknowledge where your weak parts are, you can fix the structure and make yourself a sound pillar once again. Your Divine Masculine needs you to understand where they've been and why. They want you to know that they have been an emotional wreck for quite some time. Many of you know that about your Divine Masculines. And how they feel about you right now is, oh my gosh, you're so close. Which to me says many of them are aware that there is a reason they can't be in your life right now. That's important. But they know you're on the edge of something big that they would hold you back from. And they're right. They would absolutely hold you back. They already are, just by not being there. If they were in your life, you would literally put everything you've got into them, investing in them. Some of you also understand that they are close, that they're closer to you than they've ever been. And they need you to have the same fire and excitement and enthusiasm that you had when it first started. All those moments when they come back around, even if they ghost you afterwards, that those moments where you think this is it, keep that fire. Believe in yourself, because you know what? I didn't believe in us, DF. I didn't believe that what you were saying was even possible because it included me being something important, and I'm not that. Or at least I thought I wasn't. But I understand that you're right now. And as I'm figuring out how to turn my thinking around and get myself into the frame of mind where I can be who you need me to be, I need you to keep fighting and to protect everything that is ours. This is beautiful. That is such a message of empowerment. That is a message from, I feel like that message is something that is shining through your 3D DM from their inner 5D, which says, as I've been trying to explain to many of you, that your divine masculines are more awakened than you'd like to think, admit, or think you can see. Honey, honey, honey. All right, last card. The biggest challenge, the biggest thing that I think the divine masculine is hiding because they don't understand it and they want some time with it, but we need to know, okay? What is this? I told you. They don't want you to know that they're on the way because they don't want to disappoint you and it not be when you want it to be, how you want it to be, why you want it to be. But when they start off with that Knight of Pentacles energy, what they're trying to show you is that they see you can't just rush into everything every time. Now they're building their foundation. Soon they're going to really learn what it takes, I think, to be sweet and kind and loving, but on a level that's less about like love, like romantic love, and more about love. You know, there's, oh my gosh, I can't even remember how many. Is it like 7 or 14 different types of love? I can't remember. There's agape and oh my goodness gracious, there's a bunch more. Eros? I don't even remember now. There's so many, but I think about it and it's like the divine masculine is going to start to use their love in other ways first. That's why they don't want you to know where they're at. They don't want you to understand how far they've come. I also think that the reason they're not trying to let you in on this is because they want to surprise you for once. It's really hard to be, married to a seer. You know what I mean? It's hard to be with someone who is clairvoyant and knows everything. Do you know how hard it must be for Mr. Lightwork? Like, if he ever wants to do something for me, we live in the same house. He can't get something shipped here. I mean, because Murphy's Law would have it where it would come in and I'd be like, what's that? You know what I mean? It's like, he can't surprise me. How does he, oh, I'm going to set something up. How? We're here. We're both here all day, every day, And so it's like, I kind of imagine the divine masculine feeling like you're being connected in the 5D makes you guys so tightly wound and bound together that nothing they do really slips past you. And I do think that might also be a part of divine's intent and purpose for separation, is to help the counterparts stand on their own. It's like you realize who you are in your your individual identities, but then you come together so that you realize there's something more, but then you have to go apart so that then you can integrate that information and then you come back together to where you both can be two individuals that make one. I feel like the divine masculine is going through the experience they need right now, and you should be doing the same to ground yourself into this person where you realize, I have a sacred partner for life. I am a powerful light worker. That's my purpose. That's why I'm here. And my goal is to fulfill my mission and also to help my counterpart fulfill their mission. And we're going to have our own mission. So I have to be strong enough on my own. It's like someone having to go to a job that they hate and then expecting that they can actually go home and have the energy to do something for themselves, right? Like start a business. You're not going to want to do that. But if you can find a job you like that takes care of enough of your bills that you're not completely totally stressed, then you probably can go home and then go and do your second shift, you know what I mean? Or go to that part-time job and make that extra money or whatever. And so it's like, I get the sense of this divine masculine really learning how to do what they need to do and find a way to make it to where being in a partnership is actually enjoyable for them. And for so long, everything that they believed, everything that this society taught them was that that's not true. And now they're getting into this space where they're going to start to enjoy their work again, if you will. They're getting into a place where they realize, there is a job out there, right? A person out there that I could actually enjoy being with. There is a person out there who wouldn't make me feel so tired and bogged down that I can't even go out and do my light work and have my life. That's the main reason why men in this society, and I'll just say DMs in general, probably don't want to be with someone else because they see the responsibility, the amount of work that obligation entails as something that's going to stop them from being great. This divine masculine is now trying to figure out, how the hell do I come in and show you just who I am? I am the most highly skilled knight. So they're going to go again from trying to figure out what's in my day-to-day life that's stopping me. Then they're going to try to learn how to use their love in different ways. Then they're going to come in and try to just show themselves, hey, I got this, I'm a natural. And then they come in and say, ha ha ha, trusty steed and I are he, the fine feminine, we're ready for you, we have this ring for you, it's beautiful, look at the diamond. I'm just kidding. All right, so I'm just kidding. Oh my goodness. I love you guys. I hope that you understand that your divine counterpart has been doing so much work. They've been doing so much to become better. They've been leaving behind so many things. And all they really want is to be able to show you that's real and show you that's true. I just noticed too, 6 plus 9 plus 1, that's 16. And the fact that this 8 is here again, and I told you I sense the 8 of Cups, kind of says to me that that's what's happening. If you want a clue into this tower moment for them, think about what the 8 of Cups and the 8 of Swords looks like for your divine counterpart, how you might see those energies in their life. Because I do have a feeling that it's cutting into, or I'm sorry, helping to cut through the fear, helping to deal with their inability to handle their emotions and understand their emotions. And you might need to know where they're going to be a little bit sensitive. They're going to be a little bit standoffish as they, I am the divine masculine, beep, boop, beep. Okay, so, all right. I'm going to read this. Oh, it opened right to the star. Okay, let's read it. You drew this card because a recent event has been a wake-up call for you to make some life changes. This may be a new revelation or something you've known about but have been procrastinating about, which is the 7 of Cups vibes. Okay, this is great. Now you've realized that this situation can't be ignored and action is necessary. This is a moment of both freedom and awakening. The way you see yourself and the world has forever changed, bringing you growth and encouraging you to spread your wings. Allow these new insights to motivate you to embrace the path of your heart's true desires and your intuition. Liberation, suddenly seeing the truth, rapid, inevitable change. Time is running out. That is the main feeling I told you guys I got early on, is I'm realizing that why would this person wait? So that's awesome, okay? And help you find whatever you're seeking, including right relationships and a divinely guided career. Wow. This divine masculine, seriously, if this resonates with you, again, raise your hand, because I really want you to be able to understand that you're not the only one. I want you to remember this reading. I want you to take a moment and say, what am I so afraid of? Because this message comes through to me and says your divine masculine is not going to show up when you want, how you want, they want to do something to sweep you off your feet. They want to tell you nobody puts baby in the corner and then dance in front of your father. They want to come climb a fire escape even though you know they're afraid of heights and have roses in their mouth and be like, with their arms, because that's, okay? I'm telling you right now, they want to be the one who, like my grandpa, builds you a little tiny screened-in porch in your old little property so that you can go sit outside with your cats and watch the roses grow. They want to be everything you need. And they don't want it to be like they're a freaking robot or a butler or your handyman, or no, they want to be their own person so that when they do something for you, it shows that it matters, that you matter to them. So let them love you how they want to love you. Let them learn what that means to them. And send them better vibes than you might have been sending lately. Because I think that the reason we're getting this mind reading is that they need you. They need you to fight and be fierce for them, not against them. All right, I'm out of here. No, wait, I'm not out of here. I've got to do this. Oh, welcome to my channel. This is Fiery Grace the Gifted. I am an intuitive life strategist. That's why, if you haven't noticed, I don't read tarot like everyone reads tarot, because I'm not a tarot reader. Now, I do have readings available for you. If you want to get a reading from me, you can go to my website, thefierygrace.com, professional voice. And you can get some of my readings right now for 44% off. I know, I said I was going to stop the 45 or the 50% off, and I did. Now it's 44% off because you know what? I love you. And I don't care if you're going to make fun of me. And yes, I lowered some of my prices again because you know what? I feel like if people are still complaining that even a one card reading is too expensive, then you know what? Fine. I'm going to lower the price. So now you can I got the one card reading low and it's on 44% off. You know what? I'm just trying to help you guys out. Okay. I know I forgot to make this announcement. I am so sorry. I know there are some of you who wait for this. The contract reading is on sale this month. That's right. I only do it every so often. The contract reading is on sale for 44% off. It's a big discount. That is a 90-minute reading. It's like a lifetime insights reading mixed with a light worker reading mixed with it's all the things that you need. It can help you figure out who your person is because there's so many details. All I'm saying is I'm not keeping it on sale for very long. You guys know that I never do, but when I do, I know that some of you are like, I've been waiting. I had it waiting. It is on sale. Okay. All right. Is that everything that's on sale? Oh, you know what? I also included a 90-minute phone call with Mr. Lightwork. That's also on sale this month. Okay. So if you're interested, all you have to do is go to thefierygrace.com and you're going to see a banner on the top of your screen and just click it and it'll take you directly to the specials. And all of the specials that you see are 44% off. So right now, 30-minute reading for DM or personal reading, both of those are on sale. Same as last month with the prophetic insights reading and what was the other one? The single card reading. Those are on sale. There's a couple. Oh, love letters. I did keep the love letters on sale because I just know how much you guys love love letters. And I don't know. I feel like I should take them off because they're really, really, they're deep. You guys know how my love letters are. So you already know. I don't have to explain that to you. But I decided that those are probably my most popular offering, you know what I mean? And I don't know, I felt bad not having them on sale. So those are on sale too. And yeah, I love you guys. But everything else on the site is at the price it's at. So check it out. And then the last thing you probably want to know is, do we have any new exclusives? Yeah, y'all, the Immortal Visionaries package is done. Oh my goodness, the Divine Masculine reading. Oh my goodness gracious. But even the DF reading, pretty dope. I like it because it addresses things and that I feel like we could always go back to. And it just talks about how to deal with those feelings of being kind of strung along and run back and forth when we're on this journey and we're dealing with the astrology and the cosmos and then all the personal readings we get mixed with the general readings. It's just a lot to keep up with. And so I feel like the DF reading, the DM reading, even the prophetic insights is amazing. I think it's over an hour or over 2 hours worth of content. So if you buy the package, it's $33.33. It's available and I can send it to you at my earliest convenience because remember, it's not automated. I do everything myself via email. So I think that's everything. If you're interested in learning more about the 30K giveaway, make sure you check out the community tab. Remember, only one drawing is for the 30,000, okay? And the other 20 drawings, the other 20 prizes are going to go to our members. And so members, I know we've been telling you for months, we've trying to figure out how the heck to show you how much we love you and appreciate you. And you guys just keep supporting us month after month. I figured what better way to do it than to make sure that you were the ones who got the prizes. You know what I mean? So if you are interested in a cash prize, in a free reading, or in receiving some merchandise from the Handmade Hope Shop, just be here, be present, listen to the end of the videos because I'm going to give you more information on the what's it called? The contest, the giveaway, as it's not a contest, on the giveaway, as well as how to redeem, how to enter, how to find the prizes, all of that. I give all the information at the end of the reading. So for right now, the most information you're going to find is in the community tab. And if you remember, don't forget there's an extra post for you that only members can see that gives you more information about this, okay? Otherwise, I think that's everything. Twin Flame seminar, or I'm sorry, the Twin Flame Summit is coming up. We are going to talk about the Divine Masculine this time because let's just be real, we need to talk about it. So if you're interested in being a moderator, do hit me up. But the Twin Flame Summit is happening on October 10th on 10/10/2021. So I think that's everything, and I'm going to go now. TheFieryGrace.com is my website. MrLightWork.com is Mr. Lightwork's website. His prices are very different than mine. His services are very different than mine. So make sure that if you look at my site and you're like, no, this isn't what I need, or this, I can't afford this, that you go check his out because he's got phone calls and readings and stuff for, I mean, pretty much what mine are on sale or a lot less. So, and the reason again is because Mr. Lightwork does not have all the degrees and all the information, and he does kind of stick to divine masculine focused energy. And I think we've all kind of agreed that that is a great place for him to start building his as a coach, as a divine masculine coach. So take advantage of the fact that he is trying to build up his mastery and he's giving you guys basically the discount for it. And again, if not, if you want to work with both of us, there's all kinds of services available. I think that's everything. I feel like I get so many questions and so many emails and no one reads the auto reply. And I try to explain it, but no one listens to the end these days, you know? It's just the 5 of us. Is there more than 5 of you? I don't know. All right, so, okay. Okay.
For the secret special emoji. Your secret special emoji is...
Just leave a F. Leave a lowercase f. Okay? Leave a lowercase. If you always talk in all caps, even you, leave a lowercase f. That's it. And don't put it at the end of your comment. That if you write like a regular comment, don't just put like a F. Leave an F. It's just like a separate comment. I'm sorry, but I just like it when people be like, what is this about? It tickles me. All right, that's everything. I love you. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.